Hello everyone, my name is Maura McDonagh and I'm a fifth year studying Biomedical Engineering and Communication Arts here at UW-Madison. And I'm going to take just a couple of minutes to tell you about my experiences in the College of Engineering. So a little bit of background about me. I'm from Chicago originally, and I came into Madison being like, yeah, I'm going to study biomedical engineering, and I know that I'm going to like it because I loved biology and I loved robotics and I'm a good student, so I'm going to succeed. And freshman year threw me for a loop. There was a lot to consider. There was my classes that were challenging. There was living in a dorm for the first time, and there was trying to find friends, after spending 4 years in high school with people that I'd known. So it was definitely a little bit of a challenge, but I was fortunate to find communities and support in all of those areas, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. So the first thing in terms of academic support was the Undergraduate Learning Center, or the ULC, which is located in Went Commons, which is right across the way from Union South. So really accessible, and it offers free drop-in tutoring for a variety of first and second year College of Engineering courses. So I was there every, I want to say Tuesday, Wednesday for completing my statics and calculus homework with tutors who were there to answer questions, but also friends who ultimately became my friends because we were spending time working on our homeworks together. And that was a really great resource. It's something that a lot of students use in the college. It's not, I would say, something that you have to be really struggling in to feel the need to go get tutoring. Like, a lot of people use it, and it's a really great resource. And I loved it so much that I ultimately became a tutor for some of those very same classes. So that's academically, but what about kind of socially and like your support system, right? Like, how do you make new friends? How do I, as with my mom being Mexican American and my dad being Irish American, like, where do I fit on campus? Who are going to be the people that I spend my time with? And I found the Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, or SHIP, to be one of those places that I found the strongest sense of community. We all came from different backgrounds and we had different histories, but we had a shared sense of identity. And we loved hanging out together. So a lot of our socials are dance socials or trivia nights. And we do outreach at local high schools where we'll go into a classroom and be like, this is what it's like to study engineering. Or we'll bring students to campus every semester. And it's a really great opportunity. And I've really found some of my best friends in this, and really found a sense of people who have my back that aren't just faculty and staff, like your peers, the people who, when you're having a really long day and you need to complain to and just let it out, those are the people you go to. And for me, that's been SHIP, and I've been very fortunate in my time here to have found them. And there's always food at every meeting, which is key to a college student. Beyond that, I was thinking, after I had this support academically and I'd found this social support, how am I going to figure out my career? What is my next step after college? And I was very fortunate. I felt supported enough in these other areas to take on research during my undergraduate career. So I spent a full-time summer in a chemical engineering lab here at UW, and I spent 3 subsequent semesters working in that lab. And from that, I found that I wanted to get my PhD. And it was something that I was a little nervous about, but felt really supported in. And the mentors that I had through that experience were ultimately some of the ones who wrote letters of recommendation for my next step, which is going to be a PhD in neuroscience. So all the pieces kind of came together for me, and I was really fortunate. But does that mean that your trajectory is going to look like that? Absolutely not. Every person is different and has their own plan and their own trajectory, and even I've skipped over a lot of the really hard decisions, right? Like, how do I get my first internship? Should I look for opportunities at companies, or should I stay in academic research? Should I apply to a PhD or work for a few years first? And while I've skipped over all of those, kind of the nitty-gritty of that, I think it's important to know that I felt really supported in all those decisions. I would go to the DAO and I would ask an advisor, or I would ask a mentor or a friend what they thought, and I felt really like I was never navigating all of these hard decisions on my own. And, like those days I was up late, studying and working on mechanics of materials homework that I just couldn't figure out, I could schedule a tutoring session for later that week. If I was upset over being sick and not having, my family's home cooking to make me feel better, I had a SHIP friend who was willing to run over and give me Vicks and Gatorade and tell me everything was going to be okay. when I was worried that I would never be a good scientist and I should delay starting my PhD because I would never get in, I had mentors and staff who were willing to step in and tell me that I totally could do it. So for me, ultimately, UW-Madison has been an incredibly supportive institution, and I can't believe my time here is coming to an end. But I know that the 5 years that I've had here have prepared me well. Moving forward, I'm going to have to do the same exact things, right? I'm going to have to find people and a community that support me. I'm going to have to succeed in my classes, and I'm going to have to prepare for the next step in my career, whatever that looks like. And I think UW is a really great place to figure out that next step. So I hope that this has been a helpful video, and I hope you're all staying healthy and safe in these trying times. Thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.